Hello and welcome to this video on how to check for updates with the Yacht Manager program and also how to back up your own log file. And these two things are interrelated, and I'll show you why. Whenever we're going to try to check for updates, that means if there's a new version of Yacht Manager available, we want to be sure that we don't lose any of our data, so we're going to want to back up our current log file. Where we're going to do that is we're going to come up here to the main button bar, and we're going to click on this icon right here, Backup Logs, once with the left mouse button. And we get a confirmation dialog, and it's just asking us, would you like to back up the log at this time? And it tells you that a copy is going to be made in this directory, which you set up with the setup files, and using this file name. And it says you can change this using preferences, and we showed you how to do that in another video. Right now we're just going to say yes, we'd like to make a backup, and it didn't look like anything happened, but a backup was made, and we wanted to check that the backup was made. We could go to our file browser, and we could bring up the C directory and look in the directory Oso Negro, and you can see down here we have a backup that we just made, and it was with that file name, and you can see we just made it. Okay, I'm going to close that. All right, next thing we want to do is to see if there are any updates for the Yacht Manager program. And where we're going to do that, we're going to go up here to the Help menu. And then we're going to click Check for Updates. And this dialog comes up, which is the Yacht Manager Updater. And it's asking you just to confirm that you want to check for updates. And we're going to do that right now. Click this button with the left mouse button. And another little warning comes up. It says you are using version 5.1.3.20, but version 5.1.3.22 is available to download at the author's website. Do you want to update your application now? Well, of course we do, so we're going to say yes. And it said, would you like to read the information file? Now, the information file is also on the website, and what it's going to tell you is just exactly what are the new changes being made to the Yacht Manager program. So we're going to click that to find out what that is, and this dialog comes up, and it says please download this minor update to Yacht Manager as soon as possible, and down in this area it tells you the changes that have been made. So we're just going to acknowledge this, say OK, and it said, and the next thing is asking you to confirm where to store the downloaded file for updating Yacht Manager. And it says the update will be downloaded to the C directory, downloads, and then it's going to use that file name. Would you like to change the download directory? Well, I'll just show you how to do this. I'm going to say yes. And instead of downloading it where they wanted it, I'm going to tell them I want it on the desktop, so I'm going to click here. And we'll use the same file name, and I'm just going to click the Save button. Okay, it starts to download, and you can see the progress bar is moving along. Okay, the file has been downloaded. Now we get an information dialog. It says the update's been downloaded. Yacht Manager will now close so the installation program can run. Please select Uninstall to uninstall the current version, then run the downloaded file again to install the new version. Well, unfortunately, with Windows Vista and Windows 7, this part of the installation doesn't work as I planned. But I have a way to get around it, which I'll show you right now. First, we're going to say OK, acknowledge this. And we get this little Windows Installer dialog. And this is what I'm talking about. It says another version of this product is already installed. Installation of this version cannot continue. To configure or remove the existing version of this product, use Add Remove Programs on the control panel. All right, well, we're going to do that right now. But at the same time, we do have a new installation program right down here on the desktop where I told it to store it. And so now we're going to uninstall the old version. Now I'm running Windows 7, and on your computer, this part might work just a little bit differently, but it'll be very similar to this. First, we're going to go down here to the Start menu and click once with the left mouse button. Then we're going to go up to the Control Panel. Applet right here, and we're going to click that once. And in Windows 7 and Windows Vista, a thing comes up like this here, which is your control panel. It'll look different in Windows XP. But Anyway, in Windows 7, we're going to go up here and we're going to uninstall a program. We're going to click that right now. All right. Now, once it goes through and checks all the different versions that might be installed on your computer, we're going to go over here to the right and we're going to grab this little elevator button over here and drag it all the way down to the bottom, because that's where my program will be. And there it is. It's Yacht Manager. We're going to click on it once to highlight it, and then we're going to go up here and we're going to click the uninstall tab right here once with the left mouse button. All right. It's asking if you're sure that you want to uninstall it. We're going to say yes. And it's going to go out there and get all the files it needs to uninstall. And also in Windows Vista or in Windows 7, there'll be a what they call a UAC dialog, which will prompt you to give it permission to do the installation, the uninstall. There it is. UAC dialog is user account control. And okay, we're just going to say OK to that. And it goes ahead with the uninstall. Doesn't take very long. Okay, there you go. We're all uninstalled and Yacht Manager is no longer on your system. But I just closed the control panel, but your log file is still there, so don't worry. Okay, now we're going to do the installation of the new version. The next step to install the new version is to go to wherever you downloaded the installation file. And in my case, I made it really easy. I had it downloaded right to the desktop. Here it is right over here. I'm mousing over it right now. And I'm going to double click that little installation file right now with the left mouse button. Double click. That launches it, and it says welcome to the install shield wizard for Yacht Manager. And I'm just going to click the next button. And then a little license agreement comes up like every program has, and I just accept the terms and say next. Click that. And then it's telling me where it's going to install it, and I say okay, I'll accept the default folder. Next, I'll click the next again. And it says click install to begin the installation. Okay, I'll do that. Click the install. Okay, now again, because I'm running Windows 7, I'll get that user account control dialog once it gets ready to do the installation. There it is. That also happens under Windows Vista. In this case, I'll just acknowledge it and say yes. And the installation keeps going. And I could actually launch Yacht Manager right now by checking this box right here and then click the finish. But I'm just going to finish the installation. Now, unless you're saving the installation files for installing Yacht Manager, we could probably want to delete the installation file at this time. So we go over here and click on the installation file, right click on it, and go down here to delete and check that. And I say yes to this little delete file acknowledgement, and we got rid of that. Now let's launch Yacht Manager. We'll go over here to our desktop and find the icon for it and double click on it with the left mouse button. And it's coming up, and boy, it shows like we have a lot of reminders. Oh no, it's loaded the example file. Well, how are we going to get our file? Well, that's quite simple. What we want to do now is we want to go down up here to the button bar, and we want to click on this folder right here, Open Log, and acknowledge this here after you've read it, and just say OK, left click. And then we're going to navigate to where we stored our backup copy of our log file. Now let's see, it was in the C directory, so let's click this little thing next to the C directory, and it was under Oso Negro. Let's click on that file, and boy, look at that. There's one version without the backup thing, but there's the backup we made right there. Well, probably this version up here is probably pretty good also. Let's look at the list, the details version of this. Well, that is the details version, is it? There you go. Anyway, so we're going to click this one right here, which is the backup we just made. We're going to double click that, or we could go down here, just click it once to highlight it and go down here and click the Open button. And you notice that up here now it shows that we now have Oso Negro Backup 06-16-2011 loaded in. And now all of our information that we didn't want to lose is now in here, and we can continue on with this new version of Yacht Manager. And just to check that we do have the new version, we can go to the Help menu again, click that, and go down here to the About selection. And in here you'll see that we have the current version. File version is 5.1.3.22. Okay. Thank you very much for watching this video on how to check for updates and back up your data file for your log.